All right, good evening. It's the first master class in a series of master classes in which my intent is to share the science of Syucai. What is Syucai? It's a very strange name, comes from Chinese language, and this explains how you can understand yourself and others from the distance. What it means is that by understanding yourself through your numerology, through your digital psychology, through the numbers in your birth matrix, you can also understand others. We are all different. And the difference comes not just from the date of your birth, it also comes from your belief system that is really connection between how your family raised you and what you've learned from your teachers and your preachers. It also is connected to your name because it's your mantra. And every day somebody calls you, it activates a certain quality of the energy. And also it depends on how old you are, because at certain ages, things are getting activated. So when we are born, we're not born in an empty space. We are born to be of service to others. We are also born to experience life in a way that absolutely dismantles all the illusions. We also are born to be the star on the earth. My background is a reflection of this belief. I believe we all come here to shine. But as the fallen angel, when we fall from the star as an electrical impulse, and we enter our parents' body to create a physical life on earth, some of us are losing this electricity. Some of us are gaining electricity and using it up to a certain point. Some people are able to sustain it until they're 2. And when they're 2, we become terrible too, because we want to be our own people. We want to learn things on our own. We have our own mission, our own thinking, which does not come from the parents. It comes from the universal electricity. And each one of us is charged. So when we are able to sustain this charge, we feel happy, we feel inspired. When we lose the charge, which happens to all of us at some point, we're no longer happy, and we're always looking for happiness. We're looking for outside of ourselves, for the love and completion and connection to the sense of being the star in the universe. And once our life is over, at some point it is for everybody, it's only material life that is over. So our body is no longer our body. We just borrow it for the duration of the life. But the stardom, the shine, the electricity goes back to the cosmic electricity, to the global electricity, to the universal electricity. So together we create the fabric of creation. And that creation never stops. We are true children of God, true children of the universe, in the sense that electricity always runs from us, and we are always connected to the bigger creation. We're just a little piece of creation, a little part of creation. But at the same time, we are creators. We are co-creating with other creators, and we create according to our desires. How do we understand our desires better? Because we are all listening to motivational speakers. We're all seeing the neighbors that are accomplishing certain things. There is a bit of an envy sometimes when we see our friends getting ahead of life. When you have some dreams that you see manifesting for other people, but not for you, or maybe you manifest something big and other people look at you with the admiration or a bit of an envy. We are always connecting through those sparks of electricity. So whatever manifests in your life is not manifesting randomly. When you are born a particular day. And that day is the plug-in, so to speak. You plug in to the matrix of humanity. And that matrix is recorded in your birth certificate. So some people might say, well, I was born on one day, but maybe it was almost midnight, and they put me on a different day, so my date is not true. Yes, that happens. But if you are recorded in the super objective reality, which is reality of your state, of your country, of your planet, of the laws, of the traditions in which you're born, when you are recorded with a particular day, that becomes your mantra, just like your name, right? If you're given the name, my name is Svetlana, for example. So if somebody calls me Natalie, I would not recognize it as a name. If I change that name just in my mind, in the super objective reality of my birth certificate or my citizenship certificate, it would still be Svetlana. So I would have a split energy between Svetlana and Natalie, because those names have different vibrational quality. Every word we say, every symbol we see, every number we see are the symbols to certain qualities and certain quantities of the energy. And when we live our life without understanding what exactly is happening and why, we become like lost children. But there is a way of knowing. And ancient people understood that very well through astrology and numerology. But modern day psychology kind of stayed behind a little bit. So when we go to psychologists, we often tell about our problems. We might have suggestions, but mostly we have questions. And answering those questions sometimes bring us to realizations, but a lot of times it just helps us to remember the events, unfortunate events very often of our life. And the body listens to this vibration, hears this vibration, and the mind and the body records all those vibrations. So as long as we go with those vibrational qualities from the past through our life, it also becomes our mantra. And it creates a specific background noise, I should say. It's like if you are switching on the very old radio station and it goes like, it's really hard to hear what exactly is going on because the sound quality is not very good. So in the same way, when we communicate with people, when we communicate with the universe, when we try to bring certain things into our life with the intention that seems to be very clear, it might not be heard in the same way. The reason for it is that we have that background noise constantly happening in the bigger intentional scheme, and it dims, it eliminates the clarity of what we are about. So Syucai is the Chinese knowledge, ancient Chinese knowledge that has been given as a gift to my teacher, Zhanat Kozhamzharov. And Zhanat Kozhamzharov was unpacking it for the last 10 years, with every year being clearer and clearer in what this science can do. And applied to the modern psychology, it allows us to see things through symbols, and we call it digital psychology. It allows us to understand where things are coming from and what is the destinations we are going to. It also helps understand the formula of success and the formula of the happiness. It helps us see the practical steps back where we can see a bigger picture of what's going on and find the steps forward that lead us to the result we're looking for. Most importantly, it allows us to stop being one of the people following somebody else's direction. Of course, directions are very important. Not everyone is born to be a leader for others, but we are all leaders in our own life. So in Syucai, we have 9 universal laws that are extremely important to understand in order to even be able to understand what is going on in your life, because those laws are universal, which means it applies to everybody. So the first law is about who you are in your own life. You might be a child, a parent, an adult, a grandmother, a grandfather, a boss in different situations, but in your life, you are your own leader, your own strategist. If you're not taking care of your life, if you're not strategizing your life, then there will be a multitude of people who would want to strategize you according to how they want things to be, which creates very much very many disappointed people, much disappointment maybe in your life. And disappointment is no other than feeling that you missed an appointment with yourself. So if somebody is directing your life right this moment, when you feel lost, it's time to really think about who am I? And who you are is different from everybody else. Who you are is the day you were born. This is your personality, this is your desires, this is your thinking process, and this is where all the ideas originate from. Because if you are not you, you're using somebody else's ideas. You're no longer thinking for yourself. You cannot expect the results that are right for you. You might accomplish results, but they might not be great for you. So the universal law number 2 is that God does not give you anything but relationships. Only people are the bridges between you and creation. We are social beings. We live in a universe full of beings. And here on this planet, however you are a star and electricity in the physical realm, you are a human being. So who are you as a human being? What kind of role you play in every relationship? Because we have our own strategist within us. We also have our own diplomat, our own relational coach, because relationship for everybody else is different. And if you think how you relate to different people in your life, you will notice that everybody requires a different way to be connected to. And you need to find the diplomacy that works for you, or otherwise the relationship is not going to happen, or it will not be a beneficial relationship for you. So if you cannot find people that you can relate to, maybe it's just a reflection that you're not relating to yourself with diplomacy and sustainability. Because people are around you to reflect who you are, and through the relationships give you the lessons that you need to learn to be more approachable, so you can have more relationships that can give you more results in life. The universal law number 3, analyze yourself. One time my son told me, don't analyze my children. But it's impossible. We are always analyzing people. But the way we analyze people is to find our personal benefit, how we can use people in our life. So even if we have no need for anybody, even if we don't want to use people, it's an innate ability to find a way to be in relationship that is beneficial. And for that, we need to analyze who are we in relationship with. How do you know who's right for you? Everybody is different, of course, but the best way is to use our own empathic system. When you are in relationship with somebody, you can feel another person. But how can you feel somebody from the distance? That's hard. So you can analyze people through their conversation, through the words they use. You can also analyze people through how you feel in that conversation. So we all have energetic system, the chakra system, and every part of our chakra system helps analyze. For example, at the bottom of our coccyx is the chakra number 1, the survival chakra. So if you feel fearful, if you feel pressured, if you feel not sustainable, if you feel unsafe in relationship with somebody, that this is the measuring instrument for you to understand where are you getting yourself, and what kind of relationship and what kind of benefit you can get from it. Because some people pay with their life to sustain relationships that are not necessarily very safe. The second chakra is at the bottom under your stomach, and that is the chakra, we call it sacral chakra, the chakra through which we create babies, relationships, and sensuality, sexuality, and money. So the energy, life force energy, moves from the safety and creative state of sustainability, I'm alive, to I'm alive and I can create. What can I create? So if you feel that in some relationships your creation is diminished, compromised, that's an idea for you to check. How do I feel in this relationship and why? Because the relationships, the purpose of relationship is co-create, collaborate, co-create the relationship between you and another person, but also between you and you. So in relationship, you either amplify your good or you amplify your not so good, depending on what mirror that relationship holds to you. So you analyze that through the feeling of creative and feeling of material results showing up in your life. And then the next chakra is above your sacral. This is a solar plexus chakra, emotional chakra, connecting to digestion of life. Can I digest life? Can I digest the relationship? Or it gives me indigestion. That chakra is responsible for material results. It is responsible for analysis, and analysis through how I can digest some things. And if I cannot, what kind of instruction can I create for myself or for others so they know how to communicate with me, how to relate with me for mutual beneficial results. So in this chakra, we create a system through which we make money, through which we move forward in life, we manifest our dreams, because solar plexus is about soul and about solar energy. And that's where we are being compromised when our relationships are not optimal. And then the next chakra is about understanding what I love, the heart chakra. I love myself. I love people with whom I am. I love my work that I create, and I love my world. So it's not just I need you, I want you, I cannot live without you. It's more about the state from which you are making choices in relationships, and also choices, the state choices that we make when we are in a state of understanding, a high level state, or love, a high level state. But sometimes we use those states of blame, shame, complaint, which are very low states. The electricity is so low that it compromises any relationship and any intention. And then we have a chakra, a throat chakra. It's a authority chakra. It's an authorship chakra. And from this place we talk, we connect, we explain, we scale, we communicate with each other and with the world. So again, how does it help you, this feeling here, how does it help you understand if you have a full voice in your relationship? So your analysis are coming through your body and through your feelings and through the actions that are possible for you when you are in relationship with somebody. And then, of course, we have a third eye. The third eye is a magical eye. Nobody really knows what it is. But the truth of the matter is, it's inside your head, and it's a pineal gland connection with pituitary glands. So you have the particular hormones helping you analyze situations through your imagination and also through your inner vision. And this chakra is very much useful in how we relate to the future. Some people like to create negative outcomes in your mind, projecting it to the future. And we have fears. False evidence appears real. Some people like to use it in a positive way. How can I see things much better in my life? When you use this chakra to understand your relationship, to realize what are you experiencing, you will notice if you're always thinking the worst, maybe you do not feel safe, maybe you don't have an authority over your life, maybe you don't love something, maybe you don't feel something creative, and maybe you feel like the sun is not shining through you. Or maybe you feel inspired to be better, inspired to create something that have not been created before by you or by anybody else. And you use your imagination to create your day, your week, your year, your ideas. So, for example, I worked with a friend of mine, Alexandra Isayevich, and we've created a deck of cards. This deck of cards is also based on Chinese wisdom, Chinese I Ching, and every animal in this card is the animal that talks about different fear. So my intention is to work with these cards later on to create a few master classes in which I would help you identify what is the fear that is holding you back. And tomorrow and tomorrow and Friday, I will give those readings to people who signed up for the personal consultations. So if you're interested, let me know. You're in my Telegram channel, so you can write direct, or on a Facebook, you can write direct. With your questions, I will be happy to answer. And then, of course, is the mind. The mind is an open antenna. So when you feel compromised in your mind, when you forget things, where you are not able to analyze things, when you are not seeing a bigger picture, it's also an indication when you analyze what's going on in your life of the relationships that you have to yourself or to others. So we talked about universal law number 3. Analyze everything. Use your God-given ability, energetic connection with the people is the thermometer. It's the indication of the quality of that connection. And if it's a low voltage connection, ask yourself, what opportunities can I create for myself and others to bring that voltage a little higher, so I can be more creative, more authoritative, more inspired, more loving. And then the universal law number 4 is about energy. Energy is information. Information comes with the energy. Energy is the carrier wave on which information comes. And understanding information is important, because after you understand what you just heard or saw, you might choose through analysis what is important in this stream of information for you, because maybe not all the information is for you. We live in a very stressful stream of a lot of information, and we lose the track of ourselves because information bombards us. And under stress, it's really hard to make decisions, but indecision is also decision. So we cannot act on things when we do not understand what's ours to create and cause in this life. We live on somebody else's motivations. We fulfill somebody else's goals. And very often we look at our body and we see some sort of insufficiencies or illnesses just because our electricity is plugged into something else that has nothing to do with life-sustaining energy for our dreams and our goals. So, as you receive information, it is important to analyze it and understand, is that information a priority for you? What is your goal? Finding the goal that's yours and not somebody else. And why would you like to have that goal? Because goals are tactics. We have one goal after another, and a gazillions of goals. We sometimes lose the very first law. Be the leader for your life. Strategize your life. Move tactically toward your goal. Do not lose that goal. And have the goal big enough so you can continue moving strategically to this goal. Because if it's too small for you, you lose it and you find another goal and another goal and another goal, which sometimes feels overwhelming. The next law is nothing happens. You can have gazillions of goals, but nothing happens if you do not understand that you are the doer, and you need to have logically correct movement toward your goal. The steps needs to be identified in a correct logical way. What I notice with my clients that some people jump from step 1 to step 5, back to step 2, back to step 6, back to step 1 again. So the correct steps are: information comes, you analyze it, you see your relationships, and you decide which one are sustainable and which one do you need to build and which one you need to maybe slightly let go, not ruin your relationships, because people are connected through relationships. You don't know who knows who, but strategically building your relationships so you can strategize your goal and move forward in collaboration with other people. And only then you can set up the logical steps that allows everybody to have the potential fulfilled. So building the team of people that are goal-oriented, co-creating in this same wavelengths with the same idea in mind, but according to their own talents. And the talents are hidden in the day of your birth. And in my broadcast on the Facebook, I talked about every number, so I'm not going to repeat it right here. But just like the universal laws are following the 9 steps, the birth dates are also following the same idea. So if you are born, for example, on the 1st or the 10th or the 19th of any month, you will be the strategist and the manager and so on. If you're born on the 2nd or 11th or 20th, you'll be the relationship builder. You'll be a diplomat. You'll be somebody who can build relationship for mutual beneficial exchange and so on. All right, now moving to very interesting law. If it's uncomfortable, if you do not feel good, you most likely will avoid doing it. So the universal law of the things to be done with love, looking for the level of comfort you can create for other people so that they do not fight with you. Because what kind of creation could be done if you're in constant fighting? If things that you're doing are illogical, if the steps you're creating are jumping from one to another, it doesn't make things comfortable. So if you use your creativity to create something beautiful, wonderful, in the very logical and yet comfortable enough way with love of what you love, most likely you will find the people who join you in this co-creation and your creation will be bigger, which will bring it to the next universal law. Everything has a value. And we often attach the price tag to what we create. And the price tag can never reflect the value. So sometimes our price tag is much higher than it needs to be because we believe that we put so many resources in it. The truth of the matter is, no matter how high is your price tag, the value is always bigger because the price tag reflects the material investment, and material investment is finite. But there is also the level of immaterial investment, which is your energy, your inspiration, your connections, your relationships, your imagination, and your intent to serve humanity with something that you believe is valuable, and that is priceless. There is no way to put a price tag on it. So I do a lot of complementary things, classes and broadcasts for community, because I believe that everybody needs to have an education in order to understand what is going on in my life, how I can do things better for other people, but most importantly, how I can build relationships of the mutual beneficial exchange that gives possibilities not only to me, but to other people as well. When we are born to two parents. We're like in triangle, two parents, and we're at the bottom. So everything they know, they try to impart on us. The more they know, the more we know, but maybe what they know is not necessarily relevant to us. Some things might be relevant to them because they have different birth date. Maybe they have different destiny. Maybe they have different mission. Maybe they have different name. So what they teach you sometimes not necessarily what will serve you in the bigger scheme, but it gives you a foundation. So when you have a foundation of a safe, loving, diplomatic relationship at work, at home, you can bring it then into your family and into your work. But if it's compromised, then you have to figure out how to build those relationships on your own, how to analyze on your own, how to find the comfort on your own, and how to make yourself valuable, not only for others, but for yourself. When you understand your value, you are able to partake from this value, because that value is the package that the universe gives you. It's something that is for you to unpack throughout your life. And only then, when you're full of energy, you step into universal part number 8, which is about creating material results that you are set to create. For that, the law says that you need to learn how to process things, how to create things in a regimented way, in a way that has a step-by-step process, logical process, comfortable for those creators who help you, and giving energy to your soul, giving energy to your creation. And for that, understanding, deep understanding of the end result is important. And the end result is in law number 9, which is about understanding how that result could not only serve you, but also serve others, create opportunities for others. When we are moving through the connection with the process of creation, through our own creative self, being a process of creator, right here in our soul, the electricity is born. We start shining, our soul starts singing. And when the soul is satisfied, you can create more. But our soul can only be satisfied when you're doing something which you're set to do, which is your proper orientation, which is the choice of your service to the world. And it doesn't really matter how you serve the world. What matters is the vibration with which you serve it. So if it's right for you, the vibration is high. If it's not right for you, the vibration is low. And you know how Cinderella once went to the ball? Cinderella was a very good girl. She wanted to find love from her stepmother and sisters by doing everything they wanted her to do. She did not mind. She was a real worker. And when she was set to do things, she would do it. She would do it and she would do it. Not necessarily that it would bring joy to her soul. But then she realized when she has birds and mice and other little animals coming to help her, her soul was happy. Maybe in modern time, she would be, I don't know, a forest ranger who would commune with the animals. So even though she had a lot of work to do, she found the way to do it in which her soul was extremely happy. But looking for the love outside of herself, she of course could not find it. And when she was making dresses for her sisters to go to the ball, she was dreaming of her own dresses and she was dreaming of her own ball. but she would not allow herself to make a dress for herself and go. And so her godmother, luckily, received her energetic calling, showed up, and said, I will make magical things for you. I will take that pumpkin that looks like nothing and make it into a carriage. And I will take a few mice and I will make them your beautiful white horses. And here is a wonderful dress for you. But remember, there is a time frame. You have to do something for yourself in this time frame. So go have fun. So Cinderella went, and in her mindset, she felt like a princess. In this moment of her life, she felt that she can do anything and everything. And so she went, and she had an amazing time, and the prince, of course, notices her, and they started dancing together. And here she had an opportunity to create a relationship. She could talk to a prince, not only dance with him, and they did talk in a Disney movie, and she could share some things about herself, some true things, some truthful things, some inner things. But I don't think she did, because when the time struck 12, she ran away. She left her only chance to be a princess, because she doesn't know if the godmother comes back and sets her up again with the pumpkin carriage and all of that. So she just runs away. She runs away from this opportunity just because she did not really create a relationship. She was not diplomatic enough, maybe, to create a relationship of collaboration that could give her that opportunity fully. And so without analyzing the information, right? The information is there is a beautiful castle and handsome prince, and I have a nice dress, and there's many things that are opening up for me. How can I make it happen for me? That would be analyzing information and setting up the goal. And then sequentially, the logical thing would be to share, to explain, and even a little bit of the manipulation of Prince psyche into loving her would not be too bad, because she could do it very comfortably and very lovingly. She fell in love with him. And then she could give him the energy, the excitement of continuing that relationship. And then the material result would be she would be a princess and a queen that day. And then she could share the blessings with all the other girls in the kingdom. But she didn't do it. She ran away. Was it correctly sequential for her if her goal was to be a princess? Or maybe she never set up this goal. Maybe it just randomly happened, like it happens to us. Life just happens, and we just look at the consequence without understanding what just happened. I just had this opportunity, but I didn't use it for whatever reason. So she goes home and she hides her, she loses one shoe because 50% of the opportunity is gone right there. But of course she has the other shoe, a beautiful crystal shoe. But she hides it. She doesn't share it. She continues hiding her true intention, hoping that somebody will figure it out. And yes, Prince, remembering her, is sending out messengers to find her. And even when the messenger comes to the house, she comes out and she helps every sister. So she's putting everybody's intention and everybody's motivation to be a queen above herself. Well, at some point, the reality is such that she understands that her little shoe only fits her. And then it strikes her. She finally analyzes it, that the shoe, the only crystal shoe that she has, can only fit her, and the second shoe will not fit anybody. So she is taking the opportunity. Finally, she understands that her goal is not to clean after everybody for all her life, but she has an opportunity to become a queen. And so she puts on her crystal shoes and she goes to be a queen. But it could have happened much faster. So today, you have an opportunity from this information that I'm sharing with you to create a much better sequential steps toward your goals. And in order for you to even have this goal, I would suggest that you analyze who is in charge of that pumpkin carriage. Is it Godmother you're waiting for, or is it your soul that is setting the track, setting the way, the pathway to the kingdom, to the queendom that you're looking for? And who are your horses? And who's holding your horses? Is it your mind that is scared to do something new? Or it is you who are in charge of you, who's in charge of your goals, and you're allowing your horses not only worry about what's comfortable, what's uncomfortable, what you like, what you don't like, but you are setting the course and you are in charge of leading those horses toward the goal that you need and want in your life. And what are your state? We're going to talk about emotion and state and how the electricity of your emotions affect your body another time. But just to open a magical door of knowledge, Syucai knowledge as well, I'm going to tell you about emotions being the locks on every door. When you're extremely happy, you might make decisions that you would not normally do, that are not normally safe when you are in your analytical state. When you're extremely upset, it closes the opportunities doors as well, because you don't have enough electricity, not enough energy to move forward. But when you are in this state of interest, how interesting. Look at that. I have that opportunity. Why me? Why now? What is it about me right now that I'm given this opportunity? How can I make things more interesting for myself? The curiosity is the great bridge between where you are right now and the place you want to be. Because with the questions to yourself, you will find the answers. Ask and you shall receive. Another emotion is the courage to try something new. So how courageous are you to start something new, to show up at this broadcast, to hear it and to put an action to it, to analyze your emotions, to analyze your relationships, to analyze the zillions of goals that might be running in your head and choose one priority that is right for you. There's couple months left until the end of the year. This year, 2024, is the year number 8. This is the year to learn, to work, to set the foundation for completion in the next year, because next year, number 9, which will be not an easy year, because it's the year of taking care of yourself and completing all the things that you've started that you might not have completed yet. And even though each one of us have our own year and our own months and our own day, we are in the energy of the planet. And on the planet, we have a common day and common months and common year. And so this year is about gaining experience, gaining knowledge through the experience, and setting up the processes, controlling your processes so you can see the material results. So if it's not there, gain the courage, be interested. If you want to analyze your business, I'll be happy to help you with that. I also would like to invite you, if you're listening on the Facebook, I would like to invite you in my Telegram channel, because there you can ask dedicated questions. I don't want to overload people with showing up with my broadcasts. There are many different teachers, everybody choose your own. But if you're right now in connection with me, there is a reason for it. And maybe your energy is low, which means your electricity is not working properly. Analyze why. Maybe you need to move up and forward every day at 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. You get outside, no matter what the weather, and move forward, giving your body an information that you are alive, that you're up and forward. Maybe you need to analyze how your body works. For this, we have analysis, medical analysis. And maybe you need to analyze your relationships, or maybe you need to analyze what is dragging along, what are the tagging things, what are the things that pull you back. Maybe there are things that are time to complete, the ones that take your energy away. So I've asked you many questions, but most importantly is what kind of questions are you asking of yourself? And in the broadcasts that I'm planning on doing, I will touch upon every one of those energies and how you can make it better for yourself. So today is the energy number 4, information. And from all that information, I invite you to prioritize. What are the questions that are most important for you right now? What are the goals that are most important for you right now? And most importantly, what are you going to do about it? Because none of it is spiritual, so to speak. None of it is esoteric. We are measured in numbers. Everything is measured in numbers. Our height, our weight, our age, our time, our goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything is numbers. What I'm teaching you is that there are a matrix of single numbers that are given to you from your birth. It's your day, month, and year of the birth. And together, those numbers are the symbols of the quality of the electricity you're running in your body. And if you're interested in knowing what exactly is happening in your life, that would be best to understand in the personal session. But also, if you come to the broadcast, I will allocate some time to give you some particular result to your questions. And right now, I am finishing my thought. And if you have a question, I will be happy to answer it.
I don't think I have a question, but I really appreciate your taking the time, especially when it's just me. And
it's
a lot
me,
of
you and me, both of us.
Oh, yes, yes, you and me. Many interesting things. I know, I have a mind-body oncology coach. So we talk a lot about energy too, and how you can't solve a problem at the energy level of the problem. So, when you talk about raising yourself higher and being your true nature so that your energy will be higher, I like all of that. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I want to stay in Florida and I want to, I don't work anymore, but I want to build a home. I mean, not build a home, but make a home somewhere. You know what I mean? Yes. So
finding the right place for yourself. So I would suggest the best way to figure things out when you are alone, for example, and you don't know the answer, is to ask the question, where would be the best place for me? Or what are the most important features of the place that I can call home? Or what am I not seeing? Or what am I seeking? Or who knows the answer? Something like that. And you can take a piece of paper, a bigger piece of paper like a poster, and you can write those questions on 4 sides. For example, what am I seeking? What am I not seeing? What helps me to find the answer? And what's the most important thing for me to look for? Just writing those 4 questions on the sides of the paper, and then open any magazine or number of magazines, and then tear out the pages that look interesting for you. And as you're tearing out the pages that are interesting for you, place them on that board, secure it with the scotch, and just have an array of pictures all of them. Once you cover everything and you don't have any more white space, you can then either take a little circle, any circle. I have a magnet from Syucai with the name of the teacher, Zhanat Kozhamzharov. So you take that circle, it could be smaller, you place it on your paper, and you randomly make circles, just randomly. And after that, in those circles, you find some interesting images about which you can write. And when you analyze your paper, you will see the question and what kind of pictures got into that question. What is on that side that relates to this question? What's on that side? What's on that side? So it will help your imagination to start working and figuring things out more creatively. Or you can also tear little pieces, interesting pieces from those newspapers and layer it on top of the big pieces. And then analyze the relationships between the small ones and the big ones, because everything is talking. And if you pay attention, you will have some answers. And sometimes you just read some of the words that you glue, that you attach to the paper, and even these words will give you some information. So you can circle them with the marker, for example, you can make a whole sentence out of it. So just be creative with the images, because images initiate the information that is within you. We are relying on information that is out there, but when you get the information within you, that's the time where you find the resonance between what you're seeking and what you're seeing. And then when you match those things that are in resonance with you, which means the electricity is the same, you might even find the house, tearing out the pages, you might find exactly the house you're looking for, which will give your mind a sense of having it. Once it's in your space, after you put it all on a collage, for example, you put it on the wall. Eastern wall, by the way, is good for your intentions. So you can just write down, I live in this house within this year, for example. Your mind starts organizing around this idea. And like I said, you become a leader in your life, you become a strategist in your life, you start building relationship between you and your dream. You analyze it, of course, before, through the information you received, and then the actions will arise from that. And the actions would be comfortable for you, because that would be something that you already identify as something you love, which gives you the energy for action, which brings you to material result, which brings you to safety and completion of the dream that you've been dreaming about. So you can try and see what happens.
Okay, thank you. And those questions were, what am I seeking?
What am I seeking? What am I looking for? Because sometimes it's hard to organize around that. And what am I not seeing? What are the pieces that I'm missing? And maybe a question could be, who can help me? Or what do I need to know? Or what are the images that can help me? You can put any answers, any questions you want.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then maybe one of these questions could be, what doesn't let me move? Yes. Or what can help me move?
Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm. So you can put any questions that you have right now. I don't know what to do. The question is, what would be best for me to do? I don't know where to look. Where's the best place for me to be? So you can just ask the questions that will reflect your thinking, but in a way that directs your energy, because you have energy always. You're in the field, and directing this energy gives you a material result. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you have just energy, you need to set a goal which gives a vector, a direction to the energy that you have. So through your directing your energy, you bring the result toward yourself. So you're not running after result, you're opening the space for result to show up first in your collage or your writing or your words. And then in your pineal gland, it forms the sense as if you already have it, because it's right in front of you, which gives your mind a satisfaction. I like it. I feel it. This is something I'd like to move forward. And once you have that, your body organizes itself into action, sequential action that brings a material result, because it has the energies of excitement, of interest, of willingness to try something new.
Okay, thank you. You know, something I learned too, just accidentally. One time I was trying to figure out what to do, and I kept saying, what if he changes? What if he changes? What if he changes? And one day, without thinking, I said, what if he changes? Same words, different emphasis. And the answer came, boom, clear as a bell. Yeah. So sometimes we're stuck on like one question or one emphasis, and we just change the emphasis, and like the answer was right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Because every word is a vibration. So imagine the sequential hooking of one intention and one energy to another. And the magnetism and the natural magnetism is about that we magnetize things. I have a number of different magnets here with the Syucai knowledge, and each one of them has a different number. So throughout the day, I look at them, I touch them, I orient myself around different energies. And it helps me not only focus on things that those energies represent, but it also gives me the sense that these energies are in my field, all 9 of them. And I like to help people with different questions. And when I'm connecting to all these energies, it helps me know people through those energies, but also through the perspective of the teacher, originator of the knowledge. I have a lot of my own mastery from different shamans and teachers around the world. I am intuitive, I am an artist, I am an author, I am a speaker. So I have a lot of my own things, but using Syucai helps me organize information around simple numbers, because everything is measurable and everything is understandable through the numerical symbols. And so digital psychology is something that was missing for me from the regular psychology. And it is amazing to have an opportunity to share it with you. So I'm very grateful for this time with you. And I will share it on my Facebook page, on my Telegram channel. And I'm waiting for you to send me questions. I would be very excited to answer concrete questions. Having people on a broadcast is very helpful. I can talk for hours, but it would be unstructured. So when you have questions, it's much easier for me to deliver something that is useful for you. So have an amazing day, have an amazing evening, connect. Let's do things together. Let's continue working together.